this soul cycle, whatever it is, right? I go to the one in LA, everybody's fake positive. They come into their class, what's going on? How's it going? Are we gonna do this today? Okay, relax. It's a class. It's a spin class.
To me, I think the fitness inspiration would be something of a movement. So I would say that it really encompasses many different areas of fitness, trying to make people more motivated to train, make people more motivated to eat well and take their health to the next level and take their fitness to the next level. I've found that it's even more prevalent on Instagram. It's intensified the last 3 to 5 years.
And I kept a weight loss blog where I continued to find and collect inspirational images. And these images now had a name: Fitspo, fitness, inspiration. Fitspo speaks directly to our fears and fantasies about what it means to be strong, healthy, and resilient.
The fitness inspiration movement is really just for everyday people to really get motivated, get the direction they need to help them take that first step in the right direction for their health, longevity, and just whatever their fitness goals may be.
Does Fitspiration create unrealistic expectations when people go to the gym?
Just by looking at a picture, you cannot tell how that person is working out or what that person is doing to get and reach to those goals.
As far as I'm concerned, Fitspiration is all about being fit and inspired by something. So as long as the picture is enforcing that inspiration, then I would say that it would inspire.
Social media is a powerful tool when it comes to educating people on the exercise, health, and fitness.
I think it's awesome that people are starting to want to work out and wanting to get active.
What I think about the new fitness movement is that I'm excited about it.
It's good because it gives someone an outlet for any negativities into something so positive.
It really can connect you to people in a very simple platform that really, I feel like, is an amazing accomplishment we made.
The inspiration to do it can definitely get you on the right track, and seeing these figures can put you on the right track.
We've come to a good point where fitness inspiration actually is achieving what the original goal is, and that's to actually inspire people to live a healthier lifestyle through proper exercise, nutrition, and also other aspects such as like mental health, for instance.
We always get the idea of like a person just striving to be something greater for themselves, and we kind of see that transformation, so that way we can go, oh, I can do that as well, because this person who looks like me in some way, shape, or form changed themselves into something that they want to be.
I was probably around 250 and decided, hey, I'm gonna kind of just start curbing this little by little. I did a program called Couch to 5K.
People are kind of looking for that personal experience in the sense to get a feel for, okay, how can I implement this myself? And can I follow their example? So in many aspects, there's actually a huge benefit in that.
It's very easy and accessible to everyone and anyone at any given time, versus being very difficult, reading a book or certain magazines. Now it's just an abundant amount of information that anybody can look it up with just a little bit of research.
It also gives the person giving the information the chance to engage with the audience and take feedback. When people say, hey, what kind of video, what kind of exercise, what kind of workout do you guys want? And people feel they feel that. It's like interacting with like a celebrity. It's kind of a unique thing because we really haven't had a time where people were so easily accessible.
It's all the social media I think helps, because in a way people are looking to be healthier and kind of changing their lifestyles. I constantly look up workout videos and you just watch how they do it and you do your own version of it.
Honestly, it does help re-motivate me, because at 6 a.m. when it's cold outside, You know, like motivation kind of just goes on this own little thing, you know? So it's not always about, I love to see when other people, they're moved by their own like values and goals and other people pushing each other, because it really is a family-oriented thing. You need people for this.
For a lot of people, it could make them feel like they're part of a community. Like I have a lot of friends who, do the Couch to 5K or Couch to 10K, and I know that using that hashtag, it helps them get motivation to go and to run if they don't feel like it. And, if they go somewhere and see, okay, someone else did something, I'm going to do it too. And it makes them feel strong. It makes them feel part of the community.
It could be in a group setting, so it's like you don't feel so alone. Because I see a lot of love with people, and be like, oh, like you're doing, when somebody was like just starting out, and they're really consistent, they're working out day after day, and people like, good job, keep going, don't stop. I remember how it feels. It's really nothing but love for people, and I feel like with the whole social media, it really shows people that you can really come together as like a unit and really push people when people had no support from themselves at all, or had no confidence. People help you get confidence and build your confidence up, and then when you keep it, they keep it with you, and then all you do is just show love back to people, and that's all it is really.
So fitness inspiration, it can be very potent if done correctly. If you've got that friend who's just pushing you along, it encourages a healthier lifestyle, but I think it needs to be pushed more that you should just be happy with who you are.
Social media has the power to be our best tool in our toolkit of confidence and happiness and living a fulfilling life where we're our best selves, we're our healthiest in a way that aligns with our values and make us feel good based on the many positive accounts that are out there.
Well, there are a lot of things that social media is good for. And I think that could be one aspect of kind of the fitness thing that could make people feel like they belong if you give them encouragement to do something.
It has the power to be amazing, but that person must be authentic. So exercise is one of the best things that we can possibly have for our health, our happiness, our mental health, our well-being. But it has the potential to turn dangerous if it's not went about in the right way.
Which isn't exactly inspiring, is it? When we start equating that to being real life, and people are trying to say that this is authenticity, and this is being authentic, and this is being the real version of oneself, and I don't care what other people think, well, your actions aren't matching that. Even your act of posting something online to address the fact isn't matching that, right? So to me, I think that in itself is sort of steeped in contradiction.
I think it's also important to remember that you don't know these people, and when you kind of identify more with a hashtag or people who use a hashtag and wanting to be like people who use a hashtag rather than kind of focusing on yourself or people, maybe a local group you could be with in person rather than this person you don't know and you're kind of projecting things onto. I think that can become an issue then.
We often get caught up in following people, whether it's friends, family members, famous people, influencers, who portray their, what I call onstage performance. And we compare our behind the scenes to their on the stage. So if they're, eating salads every day, according to their Instagram, even though they might be having pizza for dinner every day, we feel guilty that we didn't eat a salad for every meal today.
We can lose touch with reality, understand that you're not necessarily seeing every aspect, even if someone's sharing their life, you see multiple aspects of their life. That's still not the official picture.
Now we do see these, Instagram posts being, kind of put out there. This is how you should look. You should have this filter over you. And I think that doesn't really cause it. I think the cause comes from a lot more from insecurity, perfectionism, genetics. But I think that a lot of the pressures on people to look a certain way, achieve, to appear, through whatever filter that actually isn't on them in real life.
A body image is the subjective picture of your mental imagination of your own body. And people with negative body image often have likelihood of getting eating disorders, often they have low self-esteem, depression, loneliness, and that all tends towards being obsessed with weight.
Sometimes it can cause a negative reaction. They think, oh, well, I've tried to go into the gym and never achieved it, or they might have some significant issues with their body image, and it actually is, it causes them to kind of think negatively about themselves and, feel inferior in a sense.
The fitness media sets a standard for people to achieve, and they say basically that if you're not fit, toned, big butt, small hips, like if you don't look like that, then you're not a fitness person. Like you're not skinny or thin or anything. Like you're not the ideal body shape of what America sets for us.
61% of Americans now are obese or overweight. 10 to 15% of Americans suffer from some type of serious eating disorders.
For me, comparing myself was always a bad thing. When I compared myself to someone else's body, it always made me feel bad about myself. And I think that for a lot of people, when they look at these Instagram posts, they see, they focus on the abs, or they focus on, the thigh gap, which immediately becomes, oh, I don't have that, or I don't look like that.
They look at that and I'm like, well, I don't look like that, so like I must not be attractive, or I must not be healthy or fit.
These Instagram personalities and these like role models, they create this sense of like, this is what you need to look like, and they set a goal that's not necessarily attainable, but that's what everyone's going to strive towards. So when you look in the mirror and you see where you're at, it's very discouraging in a sense that you kind of look at it and you're like, I'm not there, I need to be there, but you lose sight of where you were, how far you've come, and what you're doing to kind of better yourself.
That's just really discouraging for girls to see these people and to realize that they probably won't look like them. But it's also motivational because it's like, well, I want to achieve a toned look and I want to look good and feel good. So if these girls are doing these workouts, maybe I should.
If you see fitness influencers, they focus the camera on that flat stomach. They lay back, on a lounge chair in their bathing suit, and they make sure their stomach looks a certain way. They use a filter. And I think over the years, a lot of classes have taught people about media literacy, about how there's airbrushing used on magazine covers, but I don't think people are realizing it so much with Instagram still, that, there's adjustments done there too.
I was on one of the Kardashians' page, and there was a 5-10 second clip of a leg workout, and it was a comment about hard working, and I said, is it really the hard work or the plastic surgery? And I got deleted and blocked within minutes. Like, they have people that monitor that.
Even the selfie that somebody takes in the mirror to show, my progress, or selfie that someone takes in the mirror to show motivation or whatnot, like, we really think this is somebody who stepped into their bathroom or stepped into their change room the first time they took that shot and that was it? There's no way. That shot was taken 25, 30 times in a row before they take the right one with the right lighting and the right angle and the right facial expression, and then it sort of gets put into this post that they think about putting together and so on. It's a multi-step process is all I'm trying to say.
That's why I also like the pictures on Instagram where it's like, this is a picture that I took, but this is what I really look like, and it shows she was so toned, and then she let herself out and she actually had a stomach, and it's like, oh, these people do look like me.
Look for things that are genuine, and it stands out. I mean, when I see, for example, women who have a photo with no makeup on and say, this is what I look like every day. Yes, I have photo shoots and I have all these photographers and professional makeup artists, but this is my skin and this is me. If I see a photo like that, I'm like, wow, that's real.
It's just unfortunate that, especially with Victoria's Secret models and their whole Victoria's Secret work out with me kind of people, these girls are 5'11", stick thin, 120 pounds, working out 2 times a day, eating nothing. And people think that that's healthy and that that's how they should like live their life, and I just think that that's just so wrong.
If it wasn't for things like the like button, if it wasn't for things like the share button and those options on social media, you'd wonder if these would even get put up at all, you know, if they'd even be shared.
We have grown up in a generation that has been centered around social media, and so it's okay. My self-worth is also partially rooted in social media. I'm not going to stand up here on this stage as a hypocrite and tell you that when I post a picture that gets so many likes, it doesn't make me happy. It does. I'm a human being.
It's harmful for the fact that girls are so like everyone just compares themselves to everyone, because that's just kind of the society we are now with the social media.
But the problem is that I was comparing my chapter 1 to somebody else's chapter 10. And you can't compare your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 10. Instead, remember that somebody else over here hasn't even opened the book yet, and they would do anything to be exactly where you are today.
When I decided to reject Fitspo and the idea that fit is a body type, it turns out I love exercise. Thank you.
There's such a better, healthier way a more positive way to look at working out than just as a means to be skinny. And I think that's where people blur the line between thin and fit.
And rather than look at that person and think, gee, I'll never get there, use it as inspiration that it can be done.
Always question. Just never issue to question anything, because you always want to be knowledgeable. And also do your own personal research, because it goes a very long way.
The advice I would give is definitely start off with someone who like explains the basics. Like from stuff that you think you know already, like someone maybe who over-explains.
There's no, I guess, overnight answer. It's just slowly building up and kind of finding what works for you.
Everybody's different. Everybody's body's different. Everybody responds to everything differently.
Starting out, it's intimidating and it's scary and you want every reason to not do it. But at the end of the day, you're kind of bettering yourself.
It's okay not to love your body all the time. And I think that's something that's lost a lot in messages that we hear. We hear, you know, you have to love your body however it looks like. And for me, that can be a lot of pressure, because there are some days when I don't love my body or I don't like a certain part.
I used to just weigh myself all the time and just be so dissatisfied by what I saw. And then it came to a point where once I got the help that I needed, I realized that I am so much more than just a number on the scale.
The real goal should just be to be a better version of yourself, rather than attaining to be this figure that you kind of plaster as your inspiration. You can strive towards that, but never discredit where you're going or where you've come.
What we do here is go back.